If you're going to the No Kings protest on the 18th, there's one thing to keep in mind that I'm not seeing talked about nearly enough. There will be three-letter organizations out there. They will be dressed head to toe in regular clothing. This has been throughout history. They also like to place on the sidewalks pallets, and it will have bricks, it'll have something easily thrown.
Them ICE agents is just pardoned January 6th. And if they not gonna do it, then them Proud Boys, they do whatever the fuck that man say. Them folks have an allegiance to that man.
Remember that video when I said that we were going to need help in 2 months from these countries? I lied. We probably got a month left. It was announced yesterday that the colonel of the Marine Corps, who has been in his position for 24 years, decided to resign after saying Pete Hegseth's speech had ruptured a certain feeling amongst the military. And I'm going to add the second reason why today, because I think people have kept this a secret. Donald Trump will be firing live missiles into California.
As patriots gather to take part in No King's Day protests tomorrow, yes, there's other groups of people that want to take part in this too. And those are the Proud Boys, and that's the Coward Kids Care. Those are three kids, right? They also want to take part in this. And a lot of people are in here warning on this. Donald Trump himself propagandized this wall protest. He's saying whoever will be taking part in this is hateful towards America. They hate America and they want to overthrow the government. They'll be expelling missiles into the air on that very day. So there's quite a lot of people here that are advising, that are guiding people on what to do and what not to do. And I want us to look at this. We'll come back and talk about it. But if you're landing on this channel for your very first time, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate your support, and my members, you guys do me amazing. I want us to look at this. We'll come back and talk about it. Just do me a favor, like the video. Don't forget to share. Spread the news to those that don't know what is happening and what is about to go down. I'll be back with more.
If you're going to the No Kings protest on the 18th, there's one thing to keep in mind that I'm not seeing talked about nearly enough. There will be three-letter organizations out there. They will be dressed head to toe in regular clothing. This has been throughout history. They also like to place on the sidewalks pallets, and it will have bricks, it'll have something easily thrown, easily used as a weapon. They will be placed on pallets on the side. That is how you know it is set up by the government. They are planning on trying to get this 1807 Act of Insurrection passed. They are going to try to make it look like a war zone, so they are going to be dressed in everyday attire to make it look like other people are doing it, so that way hopefully they can convince you to join in on the chaos and do it.
Something big is coming this weekend, and I don't think people realize just how dangerous it's going to get. Look, I've been saying this for months on here. This man doesn't see protests as citizens exercising their rights. He sees them as a TV episode. He runs the country like a reality show, and he's the executive producer of all this chaos. Now, earlier today, a memo, maybe leaked, maybe not, went out from federal agents to local law enforcement warning that anyone attending these No King rallies is now considered a potential terrorist. Just showing up to say we don't want a dictator now makes you a suspect. And I'm seeing something that worries me more than ever. You know, this weekend, special gear is going up all over cities in every protest zone to scoop data right off your phones. I hope you're ready for this. They're called cell site simulators, also known as stingrays. These devices pretend to be cell towers so your phone connects to them instead of legit carrier towers. That initially lets them capture your phone's unique identifiers, pinpoint your location in real time, even if you're not making a call. They force weaker or older encryption protocols so that they can exploit vulnerabilities on your phone and collect data not just from targets, right? Everyone around you in the zone becomes swept into this dragnet. Now, it's not just theory. These tools are already in use by local, state, and federal agencies. In fact, many departments are under NDAs with these manufacturers. And I'll be honest, I think this is intentional. They're setting the stage. If anything pops off in a big city, Chicago, New York, LA, Portland, he'll step in front of the cameras and say, "See, I told you so." Then he'll use that as his justification to activate the Insurrection Act or enforce some type of martial law even. But you see, that's how it starts. Not with tanks rolling down your street overnight, but with fear, labels, and televised proof that he needs to seize control. And yeah, I know some folks are going to come at me saying you're overreacting. Well, I'm not. So please, if you're out there protesting, be careful. Record everything, protect one another, because this could be the spark that defines where we go next as a country. Please make sure to share this with everyone that you know, specifically if they're thinking about going to these protests this weekend. Please, 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 please follow. Once again, share it. Sharing it will do a heck of a lot more for a lot of people who are not maybe potentially in the loop. But I just want to ask you guys real quick, how long can a free nation survive when fear becomes its form of governance?
Trump plans on firing missiles over Camp Pendleton in California near San Diego. Guys, we're literally making a difference. I can't believe the headline I saw today. So if you don't know, the No Kings protest is on October 18th, and everyone and their mom is showing up, trust me. But the fact that he's trying to cut off the highway and cut off people's access like we're not going to show up, y'all, we are literally making a difference. It's so crazy. I'm so proud of us. Look at him trying to put us down. It's not going to stop. Everyone show up October 18th. Do what you can, just be safe, please. Always be safe.
If you're going to this No Kings protest this weekend, be prepared to die. Leave your kids at home, leave a key under the mat or something so somebody can go take care of them. Be prepared to die out that motherfucker. Not saying that we're going to be violent. It's going to be a peaceful protest. But them ICE agents is just pardoned January 6th. And if they not going to do it, then them Proud Boys, they do whatever the that man say. Them folks have an allegiance to that man. The Proud Boys, whoever they want to call their little alt-right organizations now, them people putting on them masks and going out and doing mass shootings and all that shit, them motherfuckers will be there. If it's not this protest, it might be the next one or the next one or the next one. But every single time you go out for a motherfucking protest now with this administration and his motherfucking following, be prepared to die. I'm just being 100% honest with you. Don't go out there motherfucking think it's all going to be peace and kittens and caboodles. We going to be peaceful and them motherfuckers going to be violent. And I'm telling you that right now. I'm just warning y'all motherfuckers. And all y'all talking about some wearing masks because you don't want to be identified as a fascist. Motherfucker, I'm black in America. I'm always going to be the target. You can look at me right now and say, look, I'm anti-fascist. I can say that out loud right now. Put me on a fucking list. I'm black. I already been on a fucking list. Y'all talking about some, I don't want to be labeled as Antifa. You don't got a fucking choice, nigga. You don't. So when you go out there, be prepared to die. I'm just letting you know. Because these motherfuckers, if it's not the government, it's going to be some independent acts of danger out there. And I encourage the National Guard to do your fucking job and recognize and identify who's being violent and who's not so you can stop that violence immediately so we can peacefully protest, because it's going to be a motherfucking, watch your motherfucking back. Watch these motherfuckers dressed up militant. Watch these motherfucking white boys with them dark shades on. Watch them motherfucking white boys with them trench coats on. Watch your motherfucking back, nigga. Keep your head on the swivel.
We have some really big news this evening. Sources have told Midas Touch in an exclusive report that the White House plans on shutting down portions of the I-5 highway in California for Vice President J.D. Vance's Marine Corps spectacle during No King's Day protest this weekend, triggering chaos, gridlock, and outrage as troops are going unpaid during the government shutdown. So Midas Touch is now learning that from several sources that the White House has planned to close major sections of Interstate 5 this Friday and Saturday. It's also preparing plans for 2 days of events under the pretext of the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Marine Corps. It's being described as, quote, a vanity parade that may involve Navy warships even shooting live projectiles into Camp Pendleton as a, quote, show of force. J.D. Vance is expected to be present and intends on leading this parade. Now, Governor Gavin Newsom's office has confirmed that, quote, the governor is working with local partners to minimize what would be a massive disruption and reckless disregard for California's infrastructure and communities. As we get more information, obviously I'll let you know, but this is very serious, so spread the word and follow along for more. We have some big news right now. Virginia Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin has called up the National Guard in response to tomorrow's No King's Day demonstrations. There are about 60 demonstrations planned across the Commonwealth of Virginia, and now the National Guard will be present at some or all of those demonstrations. This comes after Republican Governor Texas Greg Abbott did the same. Now, Texas Governor Abbott did that specifically for the Austin, Texas protest. Now we're going to see National Guard military troops on the ground for Virginia demonstrations as well. Folks, there is a lot of talk from Republican governors, Republican legislators about these protests being Hate America rallies, Antifa-backed, etc. There is no evidence to support that. And No King's Day 1.0 was actually almost 100% peaceful. But I will continue to provide you updates. Just be aware, especially if you're going out tomorrow. So spread the word. Full updates on my Substack, linked in bio. Subscribe for free. Follow along for all the news you need to know about.
If you haven't heard, Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced that he is deploying the National Guard to the No Kings protest set for this Saturday in Austin. Over 2,000 protests are planned across the country to speak out against actions and policies made by the Trump administration. Texas Democrats are already responding to the governor's announcement, saying that he's taking a page from Trump's playbook and that sending armed soldiers to suppress a peaceful protest is what kings and dictators do. So going back to Austin, this Saturday at 2 o'clock, that protest is set to take place at the Capitol and then move to Auditorium Shores. So what do you think about all this?
Hey, this No Kings 2.0 day coming up October 18th got these people shaking in their boots. They don't know what to do. So now they just docked a warship on the side of San Diego and they threaten to shoot missiles into the crowd of people that's peacefully protesting. Boy, y'all got us hooked up. And I guarantee you, if you shoot a missile into that crowd, all hell gonna break loose all through the United States. And I guarantee you, every last one of you demons and devils gonna get exactly what y'all got coming. It ain't no way that our own Navy is going to shoot missiles into the crowd. I don't see that happening. They are using fear tactics, but guess what? We don't give up. The people that had enough. And I guarantee you, this 2.0 No King's Day will be a record-breaking event. You got people in every city and state that is tired of this bull that's going on with Trump and his private army. We are not bowing down. We will not stop, and we will be heard. If y'all that mad about it, you should have stopped snatching and kidnapping people off the streets, and we wouldn't be here where we at now.
Remember that video when I said that we were going to need help in 2 months from these countries? I lied. We probably got a month left. It was announced yesterday that the colonel of the Marine Corps, who has been in his position for 24 years, decided to resign after saying Pete Hegseth's speech had ruptured a certain feeling amongst the military. And I'm going to add the second reason why today, because I think people have kept this a secret. Donald Trump will be firing live missiles into California. I can't believe I just said that. Donald Trump will be firing from warships live missiles into California on No King's Day. Yes, you heard me correctly. If you can tell me any president outside of Abraham Duke or anybody else in between that has taken the opportunity of bombing anything in our country, anything on soil, we usually practice shit like that, I don't know, in the ocean or somewhere else. This happens to be close to one of the big protests, San Diego and Los Angeles. And honestly, as a historian and a constitutionalist, this shit is bad. It was so bad with the execution of this operation, Gavin Newsom had to run around with like a chicken with his head cut off so that they didn't shut down his highways without his permission and not tell him that they were going to fire into Camp Pendleton. On April 12th of 1861, there was a random explosion in Fort Sumner, South Carolina, that led to the Civil War.
This is not a coincidence. This is not timing or marketing. This is strategy. They want a missile display over California right during the No Kings protest. And that's not just optics. It's intimidation, using a military spectacle to shadow dissent. Reports circulated that military ammo might be fired, coastal ranges activated, and major roads possibly affected, all timed to match the protest schedule perfectly. Graffiti rumors said highways like I-5 would close. Then the Marines and Navy scrambled to say, we'll stick to training ranges, no public roads, safety protocols intact. But that response came after fear was seated. That's how they work. Throw the threat first, dial it back later, when the crowd is unsettled. Put yourself in the boots of the protesters. You show up with signs, chants, hope, and above, you hear rockets. That's a message in itself. Stay home. Stay small. Don't make waves. When force shadows free speech, we don't call it security, we call it suppression. When spectacle is turned into threat, the balance shifts, and the people lose ground. Ask them, who greenlit the timing? Why align live fire display with civil activism? Whose political influence gets pumped by fear? Don't let them hide behind disclaimers after they've dropped the idea into the public mind, because this is not showmanship, this is pressure. And if we tolerate protests met with missile rumors, we legitimize fear as a tool of governance. If you believe in protest, in dissent, in free voices, then this moment matters. Call your leaders, demand they rule out live fire near protest zones, make sure the timelines, contracts, communications all become public. They want to scare us with their toys. They've got another thing coming.
Operation Inflation. Spread the word. For the No Kings protest this Saturday, I'm gonna need everybody outside in one of these. I'm gonna need everybody outside in one of these. They are so practical. They literally protect you from your identity being seen. They can protect you from tear gas and other things like that, but they are also non-menacing. We will not give these people their propaganda clips if we're out in frog and uniform costume. I actually just ordered this one. It actually just arrived last night and it is perfect. So I hope to see all of my fellow inflatables outside, because imagine if all of their propaganda videos is ice on one side and they pan over to just an army of inflatable characters. Like, come on, that's hilarious. But also it is a great way to lightheartedly fight back and stand up, because like I said, it conceals your identity. It keeps, like, mine actually came with gloves, so ain't leaving no fingerprints somewhere, but it also protects you from getting gas. There is a layer of air, so if someone shoots a rubber bullet at you, yeah, it's probably still gonna go through and fucking hit your ass, but it's gonna be much lighter than it would be if you just had nothing, if your body was just exposed. It literally feels like, when I put it on last night, it literally felt like I was in a hazmat suit, so I was like, I ain't catching no COVID. So highly recommend getting one as soon as you can, because I think this is like one of the best ways that we can resist and fight back. But No Kings this Saturday. Make sure you're outside. Make sure you're making your protest signs this week. Order your megaphones, order your costumes. Let's get outside and show them how much we are upset with this regime. I really do feel like the 18th is going to be a big day, and I don't want to give them the ammo that they want to declare the Insurrection Act. And I think if we're all outside in these, they're just going to look ridiculous. So, see you guys on Saturday.
Besties, if you're going to No Kings this weekend, I need you to leave your cell phone at home. I'm gonna say that again. I need you to leave your cell phone at home. We have a lot of newly activated people. Welcome. So glad that you're here. We need you to be safe. We need you to keep other people safe. You need to arrive and depart with at least one buddy. You need to not bring your cell phone. Airplane mode is not sufficient. Turning it off is not even really sufficient anymore either. Those of us who've been doing this a long time, we used to risk assess different actions. That risk assessment is kind of out the window. We need to be treating every action as the most dangerous and high risk action there is. Take it from somebody who joined a peaceful interfaith protest, not even a protest, it was a fucking vigil, and watched people get the shit out of them on the bridge in Cincinnati. So you need to leave your phone at home. You need to write the number of a local legal aid organization on your forearm. Do not bring your phone. Do not take pictures or photos of anybody else who is there. Do not bring your phone. Do not bring your phone. A lot of us have resources and connections inside places planning for responses to the events this weekend. Folks are deploying new technology to track cell phones and social media activity for people who are present at these events. Everything is escalating, and everything is as bad or worse than it has ever been, particularly when it comes to the technology monitoring of people who are exercising their First Amendment rights. Plan a meetup place near but outside of the route and the location of the protest in case you get separated. Do not bring your phone. Please boost and share this with as many people as you can. It doesn't have to be this video, but this message, particularly because we have so many newly activated people who have not participated in actions before, or they have maybe participated in things that were lower risk. That's not what's happening here anymore. If you can hear outside my window. Be safe as much as we can in this fascist police state. Think of why you're there and who you're there for. For a lot of people who cannot be there but want to be there, it is your right to exercise your First Amendment, but it is a new ballgame. Do not put yourself or anybody else at risk. Do not post pictures and videos showing any identifiable information or faces. Do not bring your phone. I love you. Thank you for going.
Have y'all seen this list yet? I want you to take a good look at this fucking list, because this is a list of things that Trump now wants to, have the FBI start watching you for. You're not a terrorist yet. You're like a pre-terrorist. So they're convicting you of thought crime, another violation of your constitutional amendments. Look at this list. Look at how many people fall into one of these super fucking vague categories. I know that we are all the frogs in the boiling water, and only 40% of us are screaming, while 30% of us are like, hey, I love the hot water. Do you not understand how badly this is going to screw every single one of us? And I know if you go, I'm a good Christian, this could fuck you in any way you can't imagine. If you were a good conservative Republican Christian, you could still be dinged on any of these things. If you respect your wife and the lawmaker that wants to go after you goes, actually, a woman should shut the fuck up and do what she's told. Extremism on gender. This is fucking crazy.
Do not RSVP on a No King's Day website. Just show up there. The fact that they're asking for your full name, your phone number, and your email, I feel like this was common knowledge, but I'm just gonna make a video to say it. Don't do that.
They have already labeled you as a threat. They have already labeled you as violent, as a problem. Okay, look at what lawmakers are saying about this protest that hasn't even occurred yet. The protest isn't until Saturday, and it's across the country. Look at how many places this protest is going to occur. Over 2,500. They're expecting millions of people to turn out to this very peaceful protest, right? On the website of No King's Day, it says, please do not bring anything violent. I'm not here to debate with anyone why people are getting out on the streets on Saturday, because if you don't see why people are getting out on the streets on Saturday, you're full of shit. I'm here to help in any way that I can. That means I'm going to give you a couple of tips, okay? Number one is have an exit strategy. You don't need to be Mission Impossible on the ass. You just need to know which way the rubber pow-pows are coming from, which way the gas is flowing in from, and know how to get out of there. Bring a map with you. You should have a moving buddy. Remember in Toy Story when Woody is giving instructions for how they're going to move and you need a moving buddy? I need you to have one of those for Saturday. Also, tell other people that aren't at the protest where you are going to be. Watch out for people trying to cause a problem. Watch out for people trying to piss you off and get under your skin. Treat them with nothing but peace, kindness, love, and move the fuck on. If you can't move the fuck on, go the other way. I don't know what to tell you, baby. But do not engage with those type of folks, because that's what they want. They want us to look crazy. Look, I'll be real with you. I can't get out there on Saturday. I have a young child that I can't take out with millions of people protesting in the streets. I would love to, but what I can do is use my platform. So I will be live for the next few nights on TikTok, and you can come in my live, tell me where you're from, and I will tell you the closest No King's Day 2.0 protest near you. Over 1 million people are going to be involved in this. If you cannot safely protest, I completely understand, but do what you can. Even if you're like, oh, Keela, I don't do politics. Baby, politics gonna do you. Do you live in this country? Okay, you need to do some politics right now. Usually I would say that's fine, honey. I don't want to talk about politics either, okay? Right now, this state of our country, yeah, I have to.
If you're going to a No King's Day event this weekend, number one, have a wonderful and safe time. But number two, here are some helpful things to think about and keep in mind. Number one, know how you're getting there, how you're getting back, who you're going with, and generally where you're going. Knowing a sense of directions is incredibly important, and it can help keep you safe even at extremely low risk events, because it's just good to know where you're at, where you can go to get out of that situation if you need to, and to feel secure in the method of transportation you're taking to get to and from that event. This includes, if you're going with anybody, knowing where you're going to meet them, things like that. Number two, know if you are taking your phone or leaving it at home. Either, I think, is a valid option for something like a No King's Day event, which tend to be lower risk events. Obviously, I can't speak for every single event happening in the United States, but some people also have to take their phones with them because of method of transportation, medical needs, contact needs, etc. So if you are taking your phone with you, make sure you take steps like turning off Face ID, turning off fingerprint, setting your notifications so they don't preview on your lock screen, easy things like that that can help just make your phone a little more secure. And if you're leaving your phone, make sure you know the directions you'll need to get to and from the event. Number 3 is something that I tell anyone going to any kind of event ever is know your risk level, what you are willing to tolerate, and what you're not willing to tolerate. This is a good rule of thumb for any time you engage in any kind of protest. Know when you can safely engage in a situation and know when it becomes unsafe for you personally. This is a personal assessment that everyone has to make based on their own situations. Not everybody can risk harm, risk getting arrested for a multitude of different reasons. And having it in your head to know, okay, this is when I will need to leave a situation helps you be prepared in case something does happen and things do escalate. Number 4 is a good rule anytime you're in a large crowd, which is don't escalate and do something that puts the crowd at risk without the crowd's permission. If it's a very low risk event, don't go off and try to instigate something for the sake of being radical or getting attention, because the thing is that puts everyone in the crowd at risk. There are people whose safety considerations you don't know, and aside from being generally rude, it is incredibly disrespectful to the people around you. And number 5, remember that whatever your stance on protest, whatever your politics are, that major events like these, no matter if they are extremely low risk and designed to be open to everyone as mass protests, serve a real use, because they serve to show that a large number of people support a cause, they serve to motivate people and help them know that they're not alone, and they're a safe way for people who can't tolerate a lot of risk to show up and be involved. So if you're going this weekend, I hope you have a good and meaningful time at your local event. Stay safe, stay involved, and thanks for watching.
I'm seeing an awful lot of anxiety right now in the last couple of days leading up to No King's Day. People are getting pretty freaked out. And I just want to help you take the temperature down a little bit. So if you are somebody that's heard some pretty scary news over the last couple of days, you are hearing rumors swirling, and you're really worried about whether No King's Day is going to be safe, whether Donald Trump is going to try and invoke the Insurrection Act. Sorry, y'all, my house is tiny and the doors are loud. Could you hang out with me for a few minutes while I talk us through some fact checking and help us kind of reorient? You know by now that the regime has nothing left but a propaganda game, right? They want to try and convince you to give up, to lay down, to go cower in your house, to hand over your rights. They want you to be afraid to exercise your constitutional rights. Actions that you wouldn't have thought twice about a year ago, you're now afraid to step out and engage in because the regime is trying to scare you shitless. All they have are threats and intimidation. They don't actually have the will, the control of the military, the consent of the populace. They don't have the capability to stop us as long as we keep resisting and insisting that America become a democracy once again. They have to rely on you giving up. That is something that requires far less expenditure of energy and coordination on their part. And if they can just get you to give up on their own, then they don't have to deal with massive resistance. The more they try and brutalize and oppress us, the more extreme and totalitarian their actions, the more resistance against them builds and the more people start to push back. So they don't want to have to engage in those actions. First of all, because it's hard for them to find willing participants. I believe we just had another high-ranking military official who resigned today. But first of all, it's far easier for Kristi Noem to slap on her caterpillar eyelashes and film some propaganda videos than to try and get the military to agree to fire on American citizens. So we're at this moment right now where their propaganda has reached a fever pitch. They are scared shitless about No King's Day. They do not want the world to see that millions and millions and millions of Americans are deeply opposed to what's happening. They do not want a visible show of public opposition from huge quantities of Americans from every corner of this country, because not only is that something that is going to make those pillars of support start to quake, maybe we hitched our wagon to something that wasn't maybe we hitched our wagon to an absolute dud. We should stop betting on Trump like he's a sure thing. He tells us that the people are behind him, but we can see in the streets that the people clearly aren't, right? Trump doesn't have a mandate from the people. He does not have the consent of the governed. He is not a legitimate ruler of this country. And No King's Day is just an incredibly visible reminder of that. Plus, it also is a big morale boost for everybody, right? Millions of us coming together in solidarity. And this is one of the steps in us aggregating our power and helping people level up to more complicated acts of nonviolent resistance that are going to be more effective at eroding those pillars of support and weakening the regime. They don't want us doing any of that shit. They are really, really scared. That's why Mike Johnson is consistently crashing out, trying to claim that it's a Hate America rally, which is just so embarrassing. They have to resort to the most embarrassing, easily disproven rhetoric. It's okay, you say it's a Hate America rally? Cool. We will all now be showing up with American flags and Lady Liberty plastered all over our bodies because we love the Constitution. We love our civil liberties. We are really proud of our country, and we are proud to live in a democracy, and we want one once again. Fuck you, it's a Hate America rally. No, every time the regime does something, it creates a chance for us to act in response. It creates a chance for us to invoke a backlash against them. It creates a chance for us to get control of the messaging and make them look like the fools that they are. I was going to play some clips of Mike Johnson. I just don't give a shit. I don't want to hear him. Just understand that he's freaking out. They all are. They are saying really scary things. We keep hearing these whispers of the Insurrection Act, and I agree with Heather Cox Richardson. I haven't actually seen the regime talking about it as much as I have seen reporters asking Trump about it. The question there is, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Who are you working for? What arm of the propaganda wing of state-controlled media are you working for? Why do you keep bringing up the Insurrection Act? Because you know it freaks people out. You know that the American people get real amped up about it. And this was actually addressed in the Indivisible What's the Plan call earlier today. Like, what happens if he invokes the Insurrection Act? And Leah, as always, had a very measured answer. Just really, really thoughtful. Well, it depends on the timing of it. If he invokes it before No King's Day, well, that means we definitely have to all get out in the streets, right? There's no rebellion, there's no riot, there's nothing that would justify Trump's invocation of the Insurrection Act. We are all showing up and engaging in perfectly legal, constitutionally protected speech. We are nonviolent. We are absolutely engaging in legal behaviors. We have nothing to be afraid of. So we're going to go ahead and turn out in bigger numbers than ever. I guarantee you, if Trump tries to invoke the Insurrection Act tomorrow or the next day, like, he's going to see massive, massive response. All that's going to do is motivate people to get out in the streets even more.
He's already labeled this day Hate America Day. And that tells us that he's already alerting a certain group of people to get into position and know what they need to do and do what they need to do. Because, of course, those are the people that are called the patriots, unfortunately. Those are the people that love America so much. He said, these people want to overthrow the government. These people hate America. These people are this and that. And I don't think it should be surprising if the 3K people come and show up, if the Proud Boys show up, because if he's going to be firing missiles, live missiles, on the very day, there's just quite a lot of chaos and unsettlement that is in the atmosphere. If you do have a leader like him who proudly say that he hates his enemies and he don't wish them good, we've seen him treating American cities like war zones. He's called them war zones. And he has used that to, justify why he's sending the national troops in American cities. These people are trained to fight exterior enemies, but also fight just in case an insider attacks. He's talking about how Americans, real Americans, are attacking their own country. Wow. I do not have so much to say, but all I have to say is you have been guided on what to do and what not to do and what your expectations should be. People that I have featured in here, some of them are vets, some of them are normal people that really care and love America. But this is not going to matter to the dictator, to the fascist man. So you have to stand warned. The idea of you not taking your phone, I would say that would not be safe, but at the same time, the tactics they are using to track you and literally get your data, that is something else. And it should be scary for people in America, honestly. But we all know why he's scared and spreading propaganda about this gathering and protest. Because no matter what he's saying, you have seen the map. People are many. This is going to be massive, massive. And the more people are saying, the more he keeps talking about this BS, the more people register. All right? So this is going to be even huge, more than he expects it to be. But you have to watch out because he can literally use this very situation to justify a civil war. They are going to provoke people. And, provoking people that are already, to the brim, You have abused them to the core. And in moments like this, when you're supposed to be for them, you are against them. And then provocation. That's why I'm saying you guys have to watch out, because as big as this is going to be, there's quite a lot. And this is not me trying to fearmonger anybody. Those of you that are going to be taking part, just make sure you stay safe. You are warned. Don't be like, oh, we were not told. No, you have been warned. And I would like you to spread and share this with the people that you think and know are going to be taking part, including you who is watching me on here. Let me know where you are watching me from. Are you going to be taking part in this? Do you have a group that you're going to be with that at least, should know just in case you miss? Don't forget, at this point, you're not American. You hate America. That's how they see you. Too sad. But I think I need to stop here, yeah? See you guys later. I'll keep reporting on this. Even tomorrow, I probably will talk about it. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I want you to stay safe and may God watch over you and protect you. Don't forget to watch over each other as well. See you guys later. My name is Gracie. Bye.